This video is part of the Good Intentions Stitch Along series by Chrissy Crafts. Other videos are available in the series. Thanks for watching and happy stitching! I have 2 strands of the embroidery thread I'm going to use for the word. I put a knot on one end and the other end is threaded through the needle. The strands are the distance from my finger and thumb down to my elbow. That way it's a manageable length. Now, because this fabric is so see-through here and there, I'm not going to just come up from the bottom underneath and leave the knot at the back, which you can do if your fabric allows it. But if you're working on a very white fabric and you have a very dark thread and you're worried about extra bits showing through, then you do what's called a waist knot. I have a separate tutorial on that, but I'll just show you now quickly. Near the O, because I've already done that bit, I'm going to go in straight down and leave the knot there. Then I'm going to come up and do 2 tiny stitches along the outline, which I will then cover up later. Just 2 little stitches to tack that thread into place. Now we'll start the back stitch. So I think I'll just start down lower than the tacking stitches and you could see me cover them up. I do 1 straight stitch, not too long but not too short. On a curve you want them to be a bit smaller so they don't go terribly angular. So I'm going to make a very small stitch here. And then I'm going to come up 1 stitch length ahead of where that previous hole is. And I will go back to the previous hole. That way there's no break in the line. Go again, stitch length ahead of down into that previous hole. You don't want to pull too hard on your thread because then it'll just leave some big gaping holes, especially with a very spacious linen like this. I'm not happy with that down there, so there is a way you can kind of coax it down and see how it looks maneuvered a bit. Then again, I'm looking at a very weird angle since I'm trying to film this as well. Now you'll see here's where I start covering up the thread. Of the tacking stitches. No one will ever notice. Now I'm going to go into the next letter. Now I know doing this, the thread is going underneath that, but this is very thick and it won't show through these two strands. If you're doing white linen and that's going to show through, then I'm afraid you're going to have to fasten this off here, kind of weave the needle in and out of the threads on the back, and then start fresh here. At this point I can cut away my waist knot because it's not needed anymore. And now that will just disappear and you won't have any knots on the back. But you can stop and start again on your next letter, depending on your fabric and the color of the thread and how important it is to you. So there's the first stitch. Then you just come down a stitch length. Go back up. I think you get the idea. So I will leave you to it. I'll see you on the other side. Join me in the next video, and good luck with your word and with your stitching.